Hi, kids. I am so excited to do some poetry with you today. If we were in class, I would have you seated at the rug and we would be getting ready to hear poems that I've chosen. Um, so today I'm going to read a book called Firefly July. Well, I'm not going to read the whole book. I'm just going to read the springtime poems. So what I want to be pointing out and looking for today is imagery. This word on my post-it here. Imagery. I don't want to look for the word imagery. I want to find imagery in the poems that we read. Well, what is imagery, you say? Well, imagery is when a writer chooses carefully chooses words to help a reader imagine or visualize or see something in a powerful way or in a beautiful way. So, imagery is when people say, let's make this writing interesting and beautiful, instead of just writing the most simple words. So, our first springtime poem is called Daybreak, and it is written by Sid Corman. It says, daybreak reminds us the hills have arrived just in time to celebrate. I like this poem because, first of all, I am a morning person. In fact, my name even means break of day. So this one's kind of neat. For me, I love the morning time. Daybreak reminds us the hills have arrived just in time to celebrate. When the sun comes up over the hills, it's morning and the day is beginning, and that's a fresh, happy start. So this poem uses a lot of imagery. One of the things it uses is personification. Personification is when we give people qualities or characteristics to items in nature. So the hills are arriving. That's personification. We're saying the hill is like a person that arrives when the day starts. Let's do another poem. We're going to read this one called Spring. And I love the imagery. I love the imagery in this poem too. This one goes like this. Spring. Rain beats down, roots stretch up, they'll meet in a flower, by Raymond Souster. So I love the imagery here. It makes your imagination think of things going down and roots growing up and they meet in a flower. That's awesome. Now, someone who wasn't using imagery could just say, the rain fell and helped the flower grow. But isn't this so much more interesting and beautiful? Rain beats down, roots stretch up, they'll meet in a flower. The next poem I want to read to you is called The Island. Isn't that a pretty drawing and illustration? The Island. Wrinkled stone, like an elephant's skin on which young birches are treading. So this poem has a simile in it. Can you find it? I'll read it again. Wrinkled stone like an elephant's skin on which young birches are treading. A simile is used when a writer compares two things and uses the word like or as in the comparison. So in this poem, the writer compares this stone island to elephant skin, and there's the word like. So this is a simile. The artist, well, a poet is an artist, isn't it? The poet compares elephant skin to the stone to help you think of it in a more beautiful way. Here's another poem. I thought this one was interesting. Kids, you can write a poem about anything that catches your imagination. And this poet, how do you say that? Gerald Jonas, he wrote a poem about something he saw that caught his imagination. He saw a truck driving down the road, and it was full of fans. And listen to what he saw in passing. Open-backed, dumpy junk truck stacked full of old floor fans. Unplugged, unsteady, undone. Free whirling like kids' pinwheels in a last fresh breeze. What a way to go. So he loved the idea that these old fans were being taken to a junkyard. Open back, dumpy junk truck, stacked full of old floor fans. They're unplugged, unsteady, and undone. Free whirling like kids' pinwheels. So his powerful imagery there is supposed to help you remember those pinwheels where if you blow on them, the blades spin around in the wind. And he compared those pinwheels to these old fans in a last fresh breeze. What a way to go! So he's really enjoying the view of these old fans having one last blow in the breeze before they head to the dump. Poetry is awesome. Two more. This one's called Water Lily. My petals enfold, not unfold. My petals enfold stamens of gold. I float serene while down below. These roots of mine are deeply stuck in the coolest, most delicious muck. By Ralph Fletcher. If you've ever been in a boat and saw a water lily, you might have wondered, how could that flower grow in the water? How can that beautiful thing sit there like that? Well, Ralph Fletcher was thinking about that too, and he wrote a poem about it. I'm going to read it one more time. You can read it with me if you can see the words. Water lily, my petals enfold stamens of gold. I float serene while down below. These roots of mine are deeply stuck in the coolest, most delicious muck. This poem also has some rhythmic pattern. You can hear the beat. And when you read in your poetry book today, in your textbook, you'll be hearing rhythmic pattern in those poems too. So a rhythmic pattern exists when the writer carefully chooses the syllables in the words, and sometimes they rhyme too. So how many beats are in the sentence or in the line of poetry, that helps develop or make a pattern of rhythm, a beat. Let's do one more. I really like this one. Well, I really like them all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about them, right? Open-billed gulls fighting for fish heads creak like rusted gates by X.J. Kennedy. I'll see if I can hold this up a little closer. Can you see that gull? He has a fish head in his beak. Let's read it one more time. Open-billed gulls fighting for fish heads creak like rusted gates. So I love this one because it has some alliteration in it. Fighting for fish heads. Alliteration is when we use words that start with the same sound. So fighting for fish heads has a lot of the letter F. And I also like this one because there is a simile. It says that the gulls are creaking like a rusted gate. Can you imagine how a rusted gate sounds when you open it? That's the sound a gull is making in this author's imagination. and he used a simile to compare the gull sound to the sound of a gate. Kids, I hope you enjoyed these springtime poems. I have an assignment for you on Thursday where you have to go in and answer some questions in Schoology. So watch this video, answer the questions, read your textbook, and let me know if you have questions. Have a good day.